Welcome to another preview for Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest, taking place this Sunday at 2 p.m. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're well, and welcome to the preview. And I like playing Bournemouth now because we get to speak to Statman John. How are you, Johnny boy?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you, Wolfie? Nice to have me on again. And yeah, I'm wearing a kit that should be familiar to your channel viewers.
You started already. You're gonna start to prod the chat already. They're already all riled up from Ant yesterday, man. Yeah, but it's good to see you, man. We haven't done a beat the drop for a while. Don't worry, chat is back next week. Jimmy is like salivating on the WhatsApp group to get in and start talking FFP, isn't he, man?
Great. The third time he'll be talking about that. It's not like he's got much to talk about for his team, so he's got to make it about Forest.
I love John. And chat, guess what? We're on time because Statman John is clock is in sync with Big Ben. It must be. But it's good to have you. And as Jay says, we all know what's going to happen. Boring Mouth will be giving the ref those brown envelopes. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Don't you guys worry. Please don't forget as well to subscribe to John's channel. I meant to put it in the title and freaking Nick hasn't done it, so I'll do it now. But make sure you subscribe. Johnny boy, let him know what the channel name is while I add it.
Yes, Cherries Red Army. You'll see the Twitter @ down here when there isn't a comment loaded. But yeah, just Cherries Red Army on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah, check out the video now. We'll do a reaction to it.
So all you have to do is click on it, subscribe, and then give them abuse about their roof and their brown envelopes. All right, let's get into this, John, because it feels like a long time ago we played each other, but it wasn't that long ago. This is that weird reverse fixture that kind of mirrors itself up. And let's just agree here now that you cheated.
We didn't cheat. The referee was shit. That's the reality of it.
You're hiding behind his shirt.
The ref had a terrible decision. There's no Bournemouth fan that is going to ever come back to you and say the ref made the right call on that one. Because once you slow it down a bit and you realize, yeah, no, the referee fucked it. Absolutely. But you know, it was weird. It was a weird one in that game, though, to be honest, because really Bournemouth just about deserved a point. Forest were probably the better team for a good chunk of that game, and we just had a really clinical on the day striker to really mess things around in your defense and score his hat trick. But it was, yeah, I mean, I was there. It was a nervy game for a lot of it, and yeah, I do think that yeah, it would have been a very different result if Boly hadn't been sent off. I mean, that's I mean, no shit, but it really was a game that Forest were looking strong in. And had you had 11, I think it would have been a very different result.
Yeah, because we lost our manager bounce thanks to Rob Jones, because that was Nuno's first match. I was hoping for a manager bounce. And then I gotta say, Solanke was just clinical. I mean, the defending was poor, especially on that last goal. But
yeah,
he's bagging him in for you, isn't he? Were you worried because there was links to to Spurs with him quite late in that transfer window? Were you thinking he was gonna go? Were you quite confident that he was gonna stay?
Yeah. There was no way he was leaving now. There was no way he was leaving in January. I mean, we were already looking to move Keeper Moore on loan, which we managed to do. The reason that we've moved him on loan, the reason why he's gone out on loan is because we were able to replace him and bring in a Turkish striker called Unal, who's like we're now waiting on a visa from, so I don't think he'll actually be available for the Forest game, which is frustrating. But he looks like a decent player to come in and challenge Solanke. But yeah, he would have cost too much. There's no way we would have sold him for anything less than like 60-70 million in January, because he's too important to us. But I think in the summer, I think you'll find quite a bit of business going on around him. Yeah, that's what ex-City and International. So the thing is like he's got one more big move left now, you'd say, because he'll be.
How old is he now?
27. Not that he couldn't have another really good one. Not that he couldn't have more than one, but in terms of like if he's going to move somewhere and be the main man, like this is the time to do it. And you know, I could definitely see him. I could definitely see him at Tottenham. I think he is. I think he's a perfect striker for Postecoglou. So I could very definitely see him put him in, but it's going to be like 50, 60 at least. And it's whether they stump up that cash because we don't have to sell him. He signed a new deal this season to 2027, so we don't have to let him go. It'll be an interesting one to see what happens there. But yeah, he'll be sticking around and he'll be motivated to keep banging the goals in and try and make that England squad. I would be surprised if he does because
favorites FC
South because yeah, exactly. But you never know. So.
That just reminded me. Remember Jace?
Yeah, that was it, Jace. I was just thinking, I recognise Solanke, and I can't remember where from, but yeah, Solanke.
It could only be Jace. It could only be
Jace.
It
has to be Jace, yeah.
Look, you guys get this a lot, like we do. Like when you talk to opposition fans, it's always with us, Morgan Gibbs White, Jono last year, etc. And with you guys, it's Solanke, or Solanko, as Jace would say. But for me, your standout player, especially this last month and a half, Alex Scott, mate. I mean, we talked about him when he signed it. I said, what a great signing. But he has just hit the ground running for me. Have you guys been impressed with him so far?
Oh yeah, massively. And he's already played in he's already played as a 6, an 8, and a 10 in midfield. He's so versatile. Last couple of games, he's actually started as the 10. He played in the Cup, and then against West Ham, he started as the 10. He's just hard worker, very intelligent, very skillful on the ball. He's just got everything. Like we won't have him for very long at all. There will be we'll have him for maybe 2 seasons, and then we'll sell him for a massive profit because he's just every time he plays, you're just like, yeah, he's just the next best thing. He really is.
What did you pay for him?
25.
That's quite a big outlay for someone coming from the Championship, you know. But I mean, Mark will know about him on Champman. He's not Champman. It's called Football Manager now. He's next level, you know. And joking aside, even in the Championship, he was standing out. So it's risky there, 25 mil. But he's doing the business now, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's. I think he's just got the 1 goal and 1 assist in the league so far. So if he's going to keep playing as the number 10, he'll need to just add. You know, maybe he'll have to add a couple more goals and assists to that. But I think generally he's just the complete package already, and he's 19. I think.
What would you say his actual position should be? Because, like you said, he's jumped around a few positions already. But long term, when you got your team settled, where do you see him naturally fitting in?
It's difficult to say. I think the one thing I thought out of those sort of like down the middle positions, I'd see him being the number 6 least because he can do that job, but he's not much of a ball winner. That's not necessarily the big part of his game, but he's a very good presser. He could play as a box to box, or he could play as the attacking midfielder behind the striker. He could really play either. I don't see him really nailing down either of those positions, as in like, you know, he's probably just better than whoever we've got in both of those positions. He's not necessarily the best in either of those 2, as it were, in terms of you can't quite identify it yet because he's still developing as a player. But because he's got so many attributes, it's difficult to nail down exactly where you put him. But for now, because our entire midfield is working really well at the moment, Lewis Cook has been really good as the deepest line playmaker and is really sort of going under the radar, I think, across the league in terms of people just aren't noticing his game. And similarly with Ryan Christie, who's just reborn in this deeper line
accidentally
position. Yeah, I mean, it was done somewhat of an accident because he just had to be played there. But it's like I'd love to give Eddie Howe the credit for putting Joe Linton as a ball-winning midfielder, but it just happened as an accident. He was like, well, I suppose he could work there, and then suddenly, like he stormed the league for a season. And Ryan Christie now as a 10 who worked hard but never got any goals and assists. He got shunted back into the double pivot, and now he's like a deep line playmaker that wins the ball well, has got really lovely skill on the ball, and just helps our team tick. And it's combining really well at the moment. But we're keeping the player like Phil Billing out of the team, who is it's interesting. That one's an interesting subplot within the squad, because he might be kicking up a bit of a fuss because he's not playing very much at the moment. So we'll see what happens with Phil Billing in the summer.
Yeah, because he's kind of been out of favour. Like you said, with Cook and Christie in there. I mean, Billing you could play in that 10 role as well quite comfortably. But I was surprised that he didn't actually go in January. There was no real big talks about any links with him, because you're right, he's not been getting the game time. And for us as Forest fans, we're happy with him sat on that goddamn bench. I'll tell you that much, man. So no chance he starts Sunday?
No, I don't see it. I mean, he was apparently ill for the game against West Ham. We'll see what the reality of that was. But no, I think the weird thing is for him is that I do think his best position. I mean, you're right. He can play in the 10, but he also would work really quite, I think, as well as the more box-to-box player in that midfield 3. Yeah. But I do think that the manager, I just don't think he quite does what the manager wants in any position. Because we've had a couple of players that have basically had to leave this on loan this January because they're not getting game time, because I don't think they're quite what the manager wants. You've Ham Traore, who looked really nice, but he's had to go on loan. He's gone to Napoli. David Brooks hasn't been getting any game time. He's gone on loan to Southampton. Joe Rothwell's gone out on loan. And Billing, I just don't think he plays quite what the manager wants. He's like the next best choice off the bench every game, but I don't think he's really going to be starting very many games anymore for us. And that's why I think it may well see him sold in the summer. It'd be an interesting one. He literally only just signed a contract, because I thought we were going to lose him for nothing. Yeah. And then he signed a contract out of nowhere. So I don't know. It's an interesting one.
There's a few burning questions in our trolley chat, and Mark wants to know: do you make your bed every day, or is it just when you're about to do a stream?
When I'm about to do a stream.
But I've asked him so many times. His room is immaculate, man. If my kids could tidy their room half as good as John does, it would be amazing.
And you can't see all the mess off screen. That's the thing. I made sure my camera faces this way, so you don't see the pile of crap on the other side.
And they're now interested in your blinds. Did you color match your blinds purposely with your door, or was it just coincidence?
No, I mean, this is a house share, so this was sorted by the owner when he redid it. So no, I'd imagine he did probably pick them out to match. Probably.
Anyway, let's get back onto football, because you played West Ham yesterday. What the hell was what's his face doing? Calvin.
Yeah.
What was that, man?
I think he was sold down the river by his teammates, to be fair, in that passage of play. But just a really good press from Christie. Somehow Christie managed to not touch the ball there, which I think was almost more impressive, because he touches that at all and it's like he's offside. And then it's an easy finish. The frustrating thing was, in the end, I think it was the tale of the two Ghanaians on the pitch. There was a chance, I don't know how Semenyo didn't put away.
Yeah,
it just
he had a couple,
really a one-on-one, and he just fired it straight at the keeper. It's just a one-on-one, just slot it home, and he messes it up. And then you have the most dangerous player on the pitch is Kudus, and completely skins Kelly, who just takes it. Just takes him out.
Do you think it was a penalty?
Yeah, it's a stone baller. I don't know how the ref missed it. It's like not. I mean, the hand on the shoulder. No, I don't think that's enough. But he clips him, and it's not hard to see. So I don't know how the ref missed it, but yeah, it was the correct call. I'm almost more annoyed that Neto dived out of the way of it, because Ward-Prowse fires all his penalties down the middle, basically.
Down the middle, yeah. I said that yesterday. Yeah.
And I was just sort of like, surely you've done your homework, but I think keepers feel like they have to dive. So
I get that feeling on FIFA when I'm playing. It's like, I'm gonna outsmart this on a penalty shoot. I'm gonna go down the middle, and the bastard stands there.
Yeah, catch you every time. Yeah,
he just gets like that. Oh my god, they're obsessed with your goddamn room now, man. Big up for his landlord and his interior design level.
They like my landlord more than they like me.
Yeah, but tidies his room and leaves an empty water bottle beside the bed.
That's not empty.
Yeah, proper screw it. Good thing they can't see my room, mate. I'll tell you that. All right, let's have a quick chat about Forest, Johnny boy. So brought in only 3. I say only 3. We still probably did more
nice and quiet
transfer
window for
business.
Forest.
Yeah, very very quiet window for Forest. But what do you think of the 3 we brought in? So we got Rayner in, we got Rodrigo in, and we got Matt Sells in, the new goalkeeper. Any of those fill you with any kind of jealousy or envy at all?
Rayner is the interesting one. He's kind of the wild card because I think he's played. I think I remember hearing on a podcast he's played like less than 300 minutes over the last season and a half. Like he's not played any football for a year and a half. So,
Injuries, yeah.
you know, that's partly injuries, but that's partly just not being favoured by the manager as well. So, you know, can he do it for Forest? Is he going to start many games? Probably not. So,
Don't
can he
think.
have an impact on the bench? I don't know. I think is he a player that's going to fit a counter-attacking style?
What makes you think we're not going to dominate and play prime Barca football, mate?
Isn't he more of like? But he's more like a 10 right winger, isn't he? He's sort of So that right wing position, I'd say Elanga's kind of when he's fit, he's kind of got that nailed down with his performances in the last month and a half. So it's difficult for Reyna to really to start the game. Then I don't really know anything about a youngster. You've told me that he's a striker, but you've got a one.
Don't worry, no one knows anything about him, man. We're just trusting Nuno on this one. Yeah,
one he's going to start that one. Obviously, he's a youngster, so he might have an impact off the bench at some point if Wood's not there. But Wood is obviously knocking them in as well. And
why would you say a line like that? Do you realize how they're going to pounce on that? Wood is knocking them in.
Well, I mean, he's your top scorer this season.
Oh God! Hold on. Yeah, but no, I'm saying that, and like, if you do any kind of Wood style jokes, the chat are just gonna bounce on it now, and they're just gonna be all like Wood jokes. So thanks for that, John. You just ruined the chat now.
Honestly, you were the one that took time out to focus on it. It's your fault now.
No, because I can't miss them. You know what happened yesterday, right? I said to the chat, the reason Nuno took Wood off at halftime was because he said it stiffened up. Right, and that was it.
Okay, now that's all on you.
That's what Nuno said, right? And for the next 20 minutes, see, and here we go. They've started. I just knew him. Honestly, chat, you embarrass us in front of prestigious guests like Statman John, man. Seriously, they just come knocking through. Sorry, John, I interrupted you.
And then Sells. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why you brought him in. I'm really not too sure why. I mean, he's not exactly I don't think he was really doing all that much in France. I'm fairly certain. I can't remember who it is, but there's another keeper that I know you've been linked with and been going after for the last year, and I'm fairly certain you'll probably go for him again in the summer.
I wish you'd tell me who this keeper is that we're linked.
I'm trying to remember who it is that you've been linked with. A keeper that I think is actually.
You've gone on mute, mate. You've muted yourself, John.
Right.
Jen?
I really don't know enough about the Sells guy at all, and admittedly, Matt Turner's not exactly been doing anything great, but you've already brought in Vlachodimos in last summer, so why not try him out? I don't know. So yeah, it's. I don't think you've improved your starting 11 with those 3 transfers, let's say. But then we didn't really either with Bournemouth. We brought in a reserve striker, and we recalled 2 players who are both likely to be reserves as to be one of the first players off the bench as well in terms of defensive midfield. So yeah, it's a difficult market to do anything in January, but you can't stop Marinakis even if your life depended on it.
Wait, they're all now taking the piss out of you on how you said Vlachodimos because you called him Vlachodimos.
Vlachodimos. Whichever one is Greek.
Like
it's not going to be either of those. He's Greek. You're not going to pronounce it either of those 2 ways, are you?
This is the guy, by the way, who calls Dominguez, by the way, right?
Yeah, so, one of them.
Yeah, exactly, Crypto. And he's also put in a super chat. and thank you for the
I
£2.
don't hate
How
Timmy at
much
all.
does John hate?
I just hate when he rambles on about FFP because he's done it like the arguments there is just when him and Ant go at it. I'm just like, right, cheers, thanks for wasting another 10 minutes of having the same argument again. Just
true.
just leave it until whenever your hearing comes back in April, March,
Yeah.
and then we can start talking about it. But
Exactly.
you'll have made a series of videos by then going on about it anyway. So you'll be bored by the time we talk about Unbeat the Drop anyway.
The fact that John's just admitted he hates Jimmy means you lot have to now go and subscribe to his channel. The link is pinned in the.
Wait till Jimmy sees that. Wait till Jimmy.
We love you, really, Jimmy. We love you seriously, man. Like Jimmy, you need to know the difference between FFP and PSR, man. Seriously, Jimmy, it's a whole different world. But okay, so let's talk this chat, man. We should have done this pre-recorded. John would have been like done having our dinner by now. These lot not bugging us so much. Yeah, but anyway, so you think Rayner's not a starter? I disagree. I think Rayner will start on the right, and I think Elanga will go out on the left. Even though I kind of like Elanga on the right, I think that's what we're gonna see. I think this is going to be an interesting match, though, because looking at our fixtures, this is one we, with all due respect to Bournemouth, we need to target this one. We got some tough games coming up. Newcastle, West Ham, Liverpool, Villa, I think, are our next few. And then we get a few decent games. Where do you think you guys are in terms of your season now? Because you've been, happy clapping these last couple of months over at Areola or Ireola, however the proper way of pronouncing it is.
Yeah.
But you're only 6 points ahead of us. In a way, it's a semi 6-pointer because we could go 3 points behind you if you win, or you could pull a 9-point gap on us. Is this an important game for you, or is this one if you lost, it's not season defining?
I mean, it's a home game against a team that's not going to be in the top 10. So you kind of have to look at it as a game you should be getting 3 points from. And it's pretty much as simple as that. I mean, you would have looked at it the same way. You would have looked at, obviously things didn't work out and the ref got in the way of the match, but things, you would have looked at the Bournemouth match, the reverse fixture in exactly the same way, that you should be winning the game. And obviously for Forest, you've got the added motivation of sort of like
revenge.
The revenge in it. Obviously, you've not had a win against us for a few years, so trying to get over that hoodoo. And it's a little bit more of a free hit for Forest because it is an away fixture. But it's one that you're absolutely right. You should be targeting to get at least a point from. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think for in terms of Bournemouth season, yeah, we win this. If we do win this game, that puts us 2 points behind Chelsea if they lose whatever fixture they've got this weekend, who are currently in 10th, and we've got a game in hand against Luton, the one that got suspended.
I think they've got Wolves off the top of my head. I think they got Wolves.
Yeah, that sounds right. So
that's good for you because they're both kind of in and around.
Well, Wolves are 11th and Chelsea are 10th. So we are kind of now looking at really solidifying, but we're close enough that we can aim for a top half finish. So we're looking upwards rather than down at the moment, and particularly like it's not like I think we're in any risk of getting relegated now, because you look at the bottom three as it stands. Luton actually look like they might pull away depending on the results of Everton's appeal and then their further punishment. There's obviously Forest as well, but we'll wait until April for that one. So yeah, it's just all positive at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, John. All right. I know Serge is gone, chat. You're acting like we just sold Morgan Gibbs White. Like, calm down, right? It's okay. Aurier wasn't gonna play for Forest. It's fine. It's fine. So calm down. Calm down. We'll do a video update at some point on it. We gotta talk about the main talking points here, John. The stuff that can really define the match. You know what I'm gonna say because Matthew said it here. How's the weather?
Well, you did the research for me, didn't you? You've already linked me in that. What did you say? It was
18 miles per hour hurricane.
18 miles per hour hurricane
Mm-hmm.
down there on the south coast. I don't know. I don't live in Bournemouth anymore, so I couldn't tell you what it's like down there. Hey, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, that is not the same as what it was when that game was called off, and I'm fairly certain they will have done something to try and prevent any further damage being done. But I can't guarantee anything because I know what Sod's Law's like. But yeah, no, the game will go ahead, obviously. And it's I don't know. Strong winds might favour. Well, they favour you. That favour us. I'm not sure.
Well, we're not good in the aerial side defensively at the moment, mate. So if the ball's swirling in the air, I don't know if I fancy our chances of headering the ball clear. But it's I don't know, man. I'm confidently, nervously worried about this game. I don't know if that sentence makes any sense. Because, like, I wake up and I think, yeah, Reina might start. Taiwo's back. Alanga could start. And then I think, but it's goddamn Bournemouth, man. If this is 3-2 again, me and you, chat, take a good look at John. If Bournemouth win this one 3-2, no more beat the drop, no more Statman Johns, no more nothing, right? I'm not dealing with a 3-2. So that's the bit that worries me. On paper, I think we're strong enough. I actually have to say, watching, and obviously I could only watch the highlights yesterday of your West Ham game, but it just seemed like it was wave after wave of you guys attacking them and them almost acting like they were the away team. I don't know, would that be a fair assessment, or was it quite balanced?
No, Bournemouth definitely had it the first half and really should have been 2-0 up at least after the first half. And then West Ham sort of came back into the second. I missed the last 15 minutes. So it was a game that Bournemouth really should have. I mean, I'm not disappointed with the 1-1 draw away at West Ham. I predicted a 1-1 draw, but I do think that we did miss out on 3 points there. It was a silly mistake to let them have their penalty, and which was a penalty. It was poor defending, but we should have. We definitely should have been more than 1-0 up come half time, and that would have been enough to see us through. I think because West Ham weren't very good. But I don't think we played at our best either. I don't think we played really that close to our best, particularly the second half. So, yeah, I think for this game, it'll be interesting to sort of see like how effective are we gonna, like how much are you gonna try and play out from the back? Because if you do, I think we can create chance against you by nicking the ball off your defenders, because our high press is just so effective at the moment. But
people are saying it's the best high press in the league at the moment.
It's one of the best, definitely. I'd need to actually look up the. It's letting my name down.
Statman John hasn't got stats to hand.
I need to actually look up the stats to sort of see what our high turnover numbers are like. But we're definitely one of the best in the league in terms of creating in terms of shot creating actions from high turnovers. And we were top for goals from high turnovers earlier in the season. So, yeah, it's. I think if you can beat that high press, then I think you can get some joy on the counter attack. I really do. Particularly, like I was very impressed with Alanga for those couple of games after Nuno came in. Obviously, Morgan Gibbs White is playing a lot better in the 10. Awoniyi scares me. He's a very, very effective striker, and while I think Zabani has done really well against most of the centre backs he's come up with, there have been a couple very physical strikers that he has struggled with. So,
what's Senesi like with kind of physical strikers?
Senesi's okay, but really the defensive plan is always generally Zabani is the bigger, stronger, more physical one. He'll go up against the main man, and then Senesi will just like probably jump onto Morgan Gibbs White when he can, just to sort of try and prevent him from being able to turn. He'll follow the man he's marking all the way like into the opposition third if he has to. It's never really sort of come back to bite us yet, but I think at some point a team will figure out what we're doing defensively there and work around it. So yeah, I think it'll be a high scoring game regardless. I have predicted 3-2 to Bournemouth, but yeah, I think it'll be a very interesting one. I mean, I'm seeing all of Kevin's comments about Reina, because if Reina either doesn't feature or comes on and does nothing, it'll be interesting to see what Kevin talks about next in your next show.
I think Reina's gonna score. He's gonna let it rain on you. Seriously, man. I think he scores if he plays. Watch him not play now.
Yeah, that's the thing. He won't start, will he?
I think he starts. I just got a feeling. I just don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi looks confident enough to be playing on the left. The question is, will he switch Reina onto the right and put Elanga on the left? That's the debate I'm having in my mind now. I'll have my preview out for tomorrow morning, guys, to check that out. But I needed to get the inside intel from Statman John here. Like, my gut feeling says Forest may win. I think it'll be high scoring. I think we'll both go at it for a win. 2-1. I don't want to predict 3-2, but I'll take 3-2 to Forest. I think that would be justice. But yeah, I'm gonna go Forest to win. But yeah, I think that covers everything, Johnny boy. Apart from reminding these guys to subscribe to both channels if they're new, and they haven't hit the like button because they're so goddamn lazy. They're so goddamn lazy. Yeah. And we can't make it any easier for you. The title for Cherries Red Army the link for Cherries Red Army is in the title. If you press that button, then press subscribe, and then you can all go and troll John and the rest of the Cherry Red Army boys and ask them about the weather, the brown envelopes to Rob Jones, and all that. So make sure you've subscribed to John, because he is a legend of Beat the Drop. Yeah, Matthew, shut up. See what we have to put up with, John. See, do you get this crap on your channel? Honestly.
No. But we do. Yeah, we have to remind people to hit the like button as well.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Nicky does. Nicky, I've been training him. He's doing all right now. But yeah, Johnny boy, we got Beat the Drop a week on Monday. We're kicking it back up, so you'll be there.
I will. Week on Monday.
Week on Monday, guys. Beat the Drop is back, and yeah, Jimmy will be there as well, probably, and the rest of the boys. So, Johnny boy, it's been a pleasure as always. May the Forest team win on Sunday, and we will catch up about it, no doubt, Sunday night once you've brown enveloped the refs and got some BS your way.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that. It will be a different ref, so but never mind. I don't know who the VAR is. Maybe we've slipped something to get Rob Jones on the VAR.
If Rob Jones was anywhere near that match, I swear to God. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with our own preview tomorrow morning. There's a Gore stream tomorrow night to preview the Bournemouth match with the Gore boys, and you lot can attack Ant again all you want. We'll see you then. Johnny boy, it's been a pleasure, and come on, you Reds.